up everyone, I hope you're doing alright. So today we're going to be building a community lot, and I've not done a community lot for ages actually. I think the last one I did, do you know, I can't remember what it was. It might have been the tavern I did for the medieval collab. Either way, it's a community lot, and we're actually building a cat cafe, which was suggested for me to build by my friend Nighttime over on Instagram. Every time I put up like a question box on my Instagram story, you know, like a poll or whatever, or a little box where you can get people to like ask questions, well, I use that to get people to suggest stuff. So yeah, every time I put one up, he suggested a cat cafe. So I did actually say in was it the single parent of twins apartment that I did, I was saying in that how I've been building this for a while. Well, I've not been building it for a while, I've been, I guess, building it since then, but I started building it and it was meant for that day, but it just weren't coming together. You know, when you like build, or like, I guess it works with any project, if you're ever like working on something and, you know, if it's something creative anyway, the thing that you have in your head just doesn't come together when, you know, when you're like trying to get it out either on paper or in a game or whatever it is that you're doing like creatively. That's kind of what I was struggling with. So yeah, most of this were done last week actually, and I've just sort of left it. I thought, you know what, I'm not going to do out with it, and then I'll do it on like next week, do it next week or whatever. And that was last week. I was sort of thinking that to myself. The video that I posted on Tuesday, that we're all sort of done for by Monday, but yesterday, I don't know what wrote me, I was quite ill. I'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, I'm getting a bit sidetracked. So this build is actually built with Get Together Cats and Dogs and Nifty Knitting. I did want to do it pack restricted just because I thought, you know, community lots are not my strong suit, the type of lot that I tend to struggle with, getting all my ideas together and everything. And I also used a floor plan for this. I used Rollo's floor plans again. They make really good floor plans. I always talk about them, and yeah, definitely recommend them. I think the floor plan that they made, it might have just been a regular restaurant. I can't remember, but I'll put the link to the post that I used as the floor plan in the description, because what I tend to do is I just put the link to Rollo's, well, they're called Ellen, but I put a link to their Instagram, but I think what I'll actually start and do is link to the actual post. So yeah, I don't know why I brought that up, but I could have just done that without telling you that's what I'm going to do. But either way, that's what I'm going to start to do. But yeah, use a floor plan for it. And I'm pretty sure it is either a restaurant or a cafe in the original floor plan. But either way, use that as my inspiration, and kind of did the layout of it similar to that, but then downstairs I just kind of did my own thing. Like I said, last week when I did the build, it was all done apart from the downstairs bit. So if you saw that video, you'll have heard me talk about it. But yeah, also sorry if you're hearing like a lot of clicking and clacking. I don't know what's happening, but I think it's because I've turned heating on. It's absolutely freezing today. It's like sunny, but it's like freezing, and it's like Red Nose Day as well. So I don't know what that has to do with weather. I just brought that up, but yeah, it's absolutely freezing. I don't know what's happening with weather. It's like nice and sunny and everything, but it's just freezing. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to say about the build. I guess I'll go over the vision for it. So what I kind of imagined was a very like sort of soft, somewhat modern, cozy sort of interior style. I don't really know how to like describe what I mean. Maybe if I put up some inspiration pictures on screen now, whatever this is what my inspiration was, or not even inspiration, but it's just I thought about it, and then I just looked up pictures and I was like, yeah, that's what I want. I don't know if I really achieved that. It was really difficult with the packs that I had. I think if I used like different packs, I would have been able to do it. And maybe if I made like a slightly smaller cafe, I would have been able to achieve it a bit better. But it is sometimes really difficult when you're building in The Sims to get like an exact vision of what you want. Like you'll see an inspiration picture and it'll be like, oh, I want to build something like that. And it never like quite comes together exactly how the picture is for me. I've only ever had that happen a couple of times. And I don't necessarily mind that, because I think that allows you to build like quite a unique build that's sort of, you know, it's in your style. Because I've seen people use the same inspiration picture of a build. I mean, I've seen other people use builds that I've used for inspiration and they've built something completely different and it's not even the same. So yeah, I think that's like a good thing, but sometimes it's frustrating where I'll want to build something pretty much exactly what a picture is, and I can't quite get it based on like the packs that I'm using. But I did want to do it pack restricted just because I thought, you know, we're a cat cafe. You definitely need to get together. You kind of do need pets or cats and dogs. And I also use Nifty knitting just because there's some like cute items in that. But yeah, the cat cafe itself, or the cafe itself, I have set it as a cafe for when it's on the gallery. But I would recommend that if you want to play in the cafe and run it as a business, set it as a restaurant, set it up as you would a restaurant and have your Sims buy it. Unfortunately, you can't, I mean, at least without mods, you can't buy a cafe and have your Sim like run the cafe as though it's their business. But I did build this cafe, how many times I'm going to say cafe in this video? I did build it with the intention that it would be run as a business and it would be like a livable business, like a restaurant. So that's why it's got like an upstairs bit where it's going to have like a bedroom, it's got like a separate toilet, and then it's got like a living space with a kitchen and everything. If you just set it as a cafe, your Sims, like the random townies that go to the cafe, they will go upstairs, they'll use like, they'll watch the TV, there's also an office downstairs as well, they'll go in there, go on computer. It can get quite hectic, so I mean it's up to you. If you just want it in your game for your Sims to visit, then that's absolutely fine. And then I've put one of the lot traits, I can't remember what it's called, I think it's called cat hangout, so cats will show up. They can behave a little bit weird. Sometimes they'll just stand outside and just congregate out of the back doors. For some reason, when Sims show up on this lot that I built it on, obviously you can place it on whatever lot you want, and I can't remember the lot size, but I'll put it in the description. But when the Sims show up on this lot, they show up at the back door, and yeah, it's a bit weird because where I've put the front door is actually the front of the lot, so I'm not sure why that happens. But yeah, I would recommend you set it as a restaurant. Obviously, if you've got dine out, if you've only got get together and cats and dogs and whatever, you can only have it as a cafe, then I guess you'll just have to do it like that. But I would definitely recommend, if you're going to play with it, set it as a restaurant, and yeah, if you want to play it like that. But if you're just having it in your world for your own Sims to like visit, it functions just fine. I've been playtesting it all morning. I've been playtesting it for about 2 hours actually, trying to figure out, like trying to get screenshots and everything, and trying to figure out the best way to do it. Because some of the screenshots I took while I set the house as a residential, and I just got a ton of cats to like try and get nice screenshots and stuff. It's not really possible. I've got the controllable pets mod, but it's a bit temperamental. Because if you didn't know, when cats and dogs were going to come out, it were going to have controllable pets, hence why the mod was able to be like put together, because it were going to be an option, but they ended up removing it for whatever reason, and probably because it's quite buggy, I imagine, but I guess you never know the real reason behind it. But yeah, the pets were going to be controllable, which I don't particularly care about controlling pets. I never like had an issue with that with cats and dogs, like I'm not really that bothered about it. But yeah, I guess there is people that do want that. So if you do want that controllable pets mod, I might put a link to that in the description, but I can't remember where I got it from. I feel like I got it from like a website that links to the download page, so I can't remember exactly what it's called. But if I do find it, I'll put it in the description. You can't do a lot with it. You can basically just make your cats and dogs walk to a certain place, which is what I use it for if I want to get like screenshots and stuff. But yeah, some of it was recorded when it was a cafe, some of it was recorded as a residential lot, just so that I can get the right screenshots and stuff. Not that it really matters, it's just to show the build off and show what like the potential is of it, I guess. But yeah, just building the downstairs bit now, doing the office, and I did all this like last week, and then I did the rest of it like yesterday. I tell you what though, were it yesterday? No, it was Wednesday. I finished it on Wednesday. Yesterday I could have finished the video, I could have done the voiceover, and I only needed to do screenshots and playtest it and everything. But I was so tired, I don't know what were up with me. It's weird actually, because like I've got IBS, my main symptom of IBS is constipation, right? And then I've had it all my life, and I woke up at like right early yesterday morning, and you know when you wake up and you're like, why am I awake? And then all of a sudden you feel pain and you're just like, why? Well, I just woke up feeling like that. Like I just thought, oh, I've got a stomach ache. I had really bad cramps. I felt like I just needed, like, I know this might be a bit TMI and maybe some people find this gross, but this is my personality. I just talk about it as it is. But I needed to fart basically, like really bad. And I was like rolling around and I'm just like, oh my God, I can't cope with this. I felt like something were pulling on my insides. I was just like, this is awful. And I'm like due on my period as well. So like that's another thing that can aggravate my IBS. So I'm just like, fuck's sake, like, what else is going to go wrong in my life? Because if you didn't know, I had a little bit of break from streaming, because mentally it's just been a bit chaotic and a bit like, I don't know, I just needed a rest. And yeah, I had a break from streaming, so obviously everything's been like going on with me, with my head, and I'm just a bit like, right, I want to just crack on, make my videos, do whatever. And then I woke up yesterday, and you know when you're just like having a hard time, and then a minor inconvenience happens, and you just feel like you want to give up. You're just like, why me? And you just feel really sorry for yourself. That's how I felt yesterday. But the thing that will like really get me, I were absolutely exhausted. Like, no one likes waking up in pain and having stomach pains and stuff, but I were just absolutely exhausted. Like, I was walking back from doing the school run, and I just felt like I was gonna like keel over, like I was shattered. And I'm trying to remember what I did. And I'd said to my mum, well, I said to my brother that I'd help him with his Sims game, actually, because his Sims game weren't working on Xbox. It was like a display issue, I don't even know. But I'm that person in my family, you know, if something doesn't work electronically, because I'm like the oldest out of like my parents' kids, it's automatically like, oh, just ask her, I'm gonna ask her, can you come around and sort this out? Which I don't mind, but sometimes I'm like, I don't know everything. Like, I'm not like, my siblings are Gen Z and I'm a fucking millennial. I don't know everything about like technology. They've had it more really in their lives than I have, like when you consider like growing up and everything. So I'm always a bit like, I don't know why it's not working. So anyway, ended up figuring it out. But you know when you like agree to something when you're in a good mood, and then, well, not even in a good mood, but when you're decent, and then when you realise, oh, I've got to do this thing that I agreed to when you're not feeling decent, I was just like, oh my god. So yeah, I woke up and I was just like, oh god, I can't cope. And I remembered that I'd said to my brother that I'd go around and help him with this stuff, and I'd also got some stuff that I was giving him, because I was giving him some art supplies. Basically, ADHD, really common to just pick up like random hobbies and stuff, and then you do it for like a week, hyperfixate on it, it's all you want to do, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm done with that now, wash your hands of it, never to be picked up again. Well, I've been having a massive clear out. I think I've talked about it in every video, but I've been having a massive clear out. I can't remember what I was just saying, but I had to interrupt myself because there was a motorbike going past. But what was I saying now? God's sake. I woke up anyway, felt like crap, did the school run, came back, and I'm like, right, I'm gonna get in bed at half an hour and then I'll crack on with what I need to do. And I just couldn't, like, I couldn't get out of bed. I was absolutely exhausted. So I just thought, you know what, I'll have like a nap. So laid down, got comfortable, got a hot water bottle. Bearing in mind, like, I had the really bad stomach cramps on my IBS, just weren't feeling well at all, on top of being exhausted. And I'd woke up at like something to 6 as well. Like, I normally wake up at 7 and then I like just stop in bed for a little bit, and then I like get ready for, you know, get kids ready for school and do all like my parenting jobs and stuff. But I woke up at like 5:45, which is really early. Woke up before my partner, and I feel like as well, like, the actual sleep that I had just weren't good quality sleep. Like, I don't remember waking up much, but I think I woke up once when it was still dark, and I was a bit like, why am I awake? And just went back to bed. But yeah, I think the sleep that I did have just weren't good quality, so that didn't help. And yeah, I was in bed for the entire day. Rambling, long story short, in bed for the full day, so I didn't finish the build. Well, it weren't even the fact that the build weren't finished, it was just the screenshots I needed to get, and doing like playtesting and stuff. And obviously if you playtest and something's wrong, you need to change stuff, so there's still that like potential that I'd need to continue recording if there were anything I needed to change. And also a good chance that if I looked at the build with like a fresh set of eyes, then I'd be like, oh, I hate it, start all over again. So seeing as that were like Wednesday, that I weren't feeling right good. No, yesterday, what day is it? It's Friday today. It was Thursday that I woke up not feeling very good. But it was Wednesday that the build were done. So yeah, that's been my Thursday, and then I woke up today, felt a bit better, managed to go to the toilet, which is, you know, always a good thing, I guess. And I'm actually supposed to take this like powdered stuff. It's called like fiber gel. It's just like a laxative, I guess. But it's vile, like I cannot do it. I can't make my son do it. I've had it on and off since I was a kid, and I could not have it as a kid. My mum used to like hold my nose for me and like help me drink it, and I'd be like crying, like, I can't cope with it. She'd be like, well, you're gonna have to go to hospital if you don't drink it. And I'd just be like, oh my god. So I said to the doctor like ages ago, I was like, I can't do it. And he'd be like, well, you can put it on porridge. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do that then. Completely forgot, I don't even fucking like porridge. So I've had to like order some capsule versions of it's called like psyllium husk or psyllium husk or something. I don't know what it's called, but yeah. Either way, ordered some capsules for that. They should come today, but luckily I managed to go to the toilet anyway, which has helped, but I still feel like really crap. And then today, about 20 minutes ago actually, went to the toilet and I've got my period, so then I'll have even more cramps, so that's fun. I'll have to have my paracetamol at the ready. But that's another thing, like I always feel like we're like stocked up on like painkillers, but then when something happens it's like, oh, I'm just gonna get some painkillers, nothing left. So that's been like a bit of a stress, but it is what it is. Hot water bottle's always a good thing to have handy, so yeah, I think everybody that has periods knows that, but it's very helpful. I also want to get like an electric heating pad, but I feel like because I'm so forgetful and a bit like reckless, what if I left it on and like just left the house for a full day and then come back and it's like blown up or whatever? So yeah, probably not best thing for me to have. But yeah, anyway, let me talk about the build because I've just rambled on about having IBS really. So the downstairs bit, there's 2 sections to the cafe, and then so we've got like that back office bit. So you've got your main like cafe area where your Sims can sit and drink and whatever else. They don't actually sit down when you've got a cafe. They stand about and eat buns. But if you set it as a restaurant, they should sit down. Obviously, if you do set it as a restaurant, I think you'll have to place one of those waiter areas that can we dine out. It's up to you. You play it however you want. But the idea is you've got your little cafe bit, and then there's a little cat cuddling area. So it's got lots of like cat toys and the little cat trees and a little cuddling area. And the place I set it out, and the cats do like to go in there and they like to play on the cat tree and everything, and like to play with the toys. And I put the food things upstairs, so if you do want to feed the cats that come round, you can. I don't think it really matters. It just kind of depends if you set it as a restaurant and you have your own Sims like stopping there, and you have your own Sims cat stopping there, then they probably will need to be fed. But strays and stuff that just pop up to the cafe should be fine. But yeah, then I put down some outdoor little seating areas as well because I thought it'd be nice to have a little area to sit down. And then I'm just putting down some like extra decorations and like planter boxes and whatever else. And then yeah, after that we'll put the screenshots. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this one. If you did, go ahead and leave a like on it. It really helps me out. And comment something down below. Are you a cat person or are you a dog person? I'm personally a dog person, but I don't mind cats. But yeah, I definitely think that dogs are better. Sorry. Anyway, I hope that you all have a really good weekend. If you do want to pop by the stream, I'm back to streaming as normal now. I think we'll be doing Sims 2 tonight. We're playing in Strange Town again. So pop by there if you want. And yeah, I hope you have a good weekend and I'll see you later. Bye.